The people of Chiriandongo present what IGG was searching for, or we made IGG waste our taxpayers' money for nothing in Chiriandongo.
Thank you very much, Bwana Viamugayo, for that wonderful question. And Bwana Dida has answered that fully, 100%, that people misquoted the coming of the IGG, and they instead dwelled on different things, different issues. And what annoyed me was the fact that there are some other people who said for them they will not be able to come and speak in public. They opted to go and register their issues. But also when the program started, they also came on the microphones and again started presenting the same issues that they had already handled the other side. But if you had to check on the issue that we handled there, 80% of the issues that were registered in that tent were all land matters.
Land?
80%. And some of our leaders who even managed to get the microphone, they even spoke opposite. They were I looked at someone almost campaigning. we want things. How was the government money utilized?
Exactly.
Where are we misusing this money?
Yeah.
And you are telling me different things and what, But I think they were also a little bit professional because they didn't, stop people from talking and what, they just kept quiet and then came in. But the issue was all about accountability. Can you account for this? For example, the issues of money. What I maybe expected of them was how the land matter is being handled in this way. Like our leaders, the government leaders selling land to refugees. Money is appropriated for NERA to do its work. But then NERA is ending up registering even refugees. That is accountability that we need. Who is causing this? Who is responsible? Who recommends these people? The GISO, can you come and answer? Did we even have that? We did not have that. I think I brought in that at the end. We were supposed to look at the key pressing issues. For example, if you come to steal land, what is happening? The LC ones are still charging the 10%. That is what the IGG wanted to know. Is it there by law? Why are you still charging it? LC1, can you come and explain to us? That is what we were supposed to present. Unfortunately, no one talked about it. We sing. I am telling you facts, and I was there, and there is something that annoyed me.
With all the calls they always make here, there's even a hospital. The people talk of.
No one talked about it. Actually, the issue of hospitals came in when I think the gentleman from the regional coordinator. Was giving his when he was giving his submission. That is when he hinted on what they got in the hospital. But even if you have to look at what they got in the hospital, only I think 2 or 3 things. One about the mortuary, then 2 charging monies for short calls and long calls, then 3 I think that dental clinic. Those are the only issues they hinted on. We didn't even hear anything like the drugs disappearing and what. Maybe they got enough drugs in the hospital, they got enough beds, maybe, you never know. But those are the things. But no one hinted on the issue of the land, not until I came in the 10%, because I am also a victim. The chairperson refused to give me a stamp because I failed to give him 700,000. The one for LC1 Boyala had also refused. So when I came on board and raised that, when the mayor stood up and covered them, at the end of the day, the gentleman came and talked to me. And he said, okay, for us, we also inherited what we got in office. But since you have already brought it up, you have helped us. From now onwards, we are not going to charge the 10%. They wanted to know the key pressing issues, not only land. People were coming, land. My issue has been here, DPC, your people are chasing us on land. That was the only thing. Schools, they only hinted on one thing, that the government schools are charging school fees. That was the only issue.
And by the way,
now, from the construction of buildings, they did not talk about it.
They did not talk about all that. But then, I really doubt even whether this gentleman who spoke about that, first of all, made some research. Because it is not every school that is having teachers that are paid by government is a government school. We have government-aided schools and then the real government schools. These public schools that we are calling government schools, it is a very big mistake. Like, for example, I will give you an example of Boyale COU. Boyale COU is not 100% government. The founding body is the the Church of Uganda. But then the government has come in to help them develop the infrastructures, but also pay the teachers and also aid them with some money to run the school. So that one doesn't qualify to be 100% a government school. Like, for example, if you go back to early childhood care and education, this one is entirely run by us who are in the private sector. But if you look at the policy that we launched, at least I gave you a copy on the 30th of April, the government is looking at how they can come in to lessen the burden on the directors of these schools, because they are training our children. The children belong to the country. So they want to see how they're going to come on board and help. What are they going to do according to that policy? They are first of all going to come down through the district education officers and the inspectors, talk about the RDC and the security team to identify the schools that are already existing, the ECD centers, and then get a report on how they can work together with them. How can the government come in to lessen the burden? So that also maybe the charges go down. Where you have been charging 150, maybe you go to 30. So that the government covers up your teachers, covers up the structure and all those other things. But then that 30 will be charged for us to also keep on running these other things that might not be catered for by the government in time. Then, where there is no any ECD center, completely owned by a private, or maybe someone from the private sector, then the government will buy land, construct an ECD center. That one will be entirely 100% government. And if there is someone who is charging money there, then that person can be questioned. But then if you talk about Siriba, which is also a church-founded school, you talk about COU, and how much money are they charging? That's also another question. So those are the only things that they brought up, and parents clapped their hands and what. But are those the only key pressing issues? Is that how we are only losing government money? And above all, do these people just wake up today and say that we are going to charge this amount of money? These people have meetings. And I think the inspector of schools maybe was not just prepared, but he was prepared enough. And I think he didn't even expect such a question, maybe. But if he was well prepared, he was going to answer them accordingly. So you see, when they decide that we are going to pay 25,000, and this 25,000 is going to cater for ABCD, why do you then compare that in barely the other schools that are paying 400,000, nursery section, 500,000, and people are paying it willingly? Then, very good. Mr. Odida even talked about that long time ago, I think, before even the campaigns. Why are we thinking that government should be now 100%, even if they send your child for a pencil? That is very wrong. You run to the RDC. A pencil, a pen, a book. You say government is going to cater. So the person, first of all, needed to know, okay, now corruption. The issues that they were supposed to hint on then was, one, that money that we pay at the police. I'm happy that there is someone who hinted on that. Then the money is for initiating arrests. Now, did you know that according to the standing orders of the police, if I want to appreciate you, even if I'm going to give you 1,000 shillings, I am supposed to write to the IGG through the district police commander, so that a function, actually a formal function is organized, even attended by the IGP of police, and I give you 1,000 for the good services that you have done. And that one is far much better than me giving you 100,000, because one, you get recognition, and then two, you can easily even be promoted. I want to appreciate you for the good services that you have done by giving you 5,000. But even if I give you 10,000, that is the corruption that people should have talked about. But not this one here. But above all, let us not hide information from the people. If we were giving people information, they would have been informed that, oh, in school X, they are paying 30,000. This 30,000 is for A, B, C, D. We make them know the difference between public and government schools. All these issues would have not come up. But the most important thing is, the IGG wanted to know the key pressing issues. What are those key pressing issues where the government is losing money?
Maybe for us we are okay.
We are not okay. We are not okay. You see, the issue of land annoyed me, by the way, from the beginning up to the end. And then we had even now leaders finger pointing themselves. You. This one also points back. You.
Land issue.
In front of our people. Now you see.
Finger pointing on land issues.
On land issues. And now you see something that I noted there. Of course, when our LC5, whom I even supported, by the way, during the campaigns, he was my candidate. When people hinted on land issues, he came and responded, and he said, "You, Bwana DPC, you people are the ones who are terrorizing the residents there." And he spoke a lot. And he said if the police cannot handle that, then he's going to go and mobilize all people in that area. then the RDC, not the RDC, the DPC will see what will happen then afterwards.
Is that constitutional?
I don't know whether it is constitutional or not, but I think you see where you see it is not a peaceful demonstration, because if you say that if you say that we are going to go and mobilize and then you will see what will happen afterwards, I think that was wrong, because all of them are still new, by the way. The DPC is still new. He came, I think, that time during our nominations. That is when he came last year. He has not yet made a year. The LC5 has not yet made 2 months. So some of these problems that they are getting, and the LC5 even stated it very well, that they are getting things that started long time ago. And the deputy RDC also came and hit it and said, these problems are even beyond them. If we are to blame, we are supposed to start with the Uganda Land Board. Now, if we have even not been able to understand that as the leaders, then I think you see where we are going. And we have even left the major reason as why we have come for this Baraza, and we have gone to different things. But above all, if there is an issue which is now outside, I think it would be better of us handling it outside of the people's, And when that I know people, they are going to say, now this one was bought by NRM. No, I am not NRM, and I am opposition 100%. But there are some things that we don't have to prioritize if you want to really move in the rightful direction. And I'm very happy. When the DPC was being roasted, for him, he was just there quiet and looking at him. And if you had to look at all the clips trending, they are of 2 people. They even left the major reason, the key issues that were discussed. They are sharing only 2 people. DPC, LC5, the reaction and what. What I want our people to know is politics ended. And right now, we are supposed to work as a team. And Biamunga, even if you are the LC5 and I support you so much, where you go wrong, I will come here and condemn you and say, there, you didn't go on well. Let us not hide information away from people. Let us make people understand. So that may be when the government brings another program, like if it is now land, we know what we are supposed to discuss. Yes. But again, they might come for land issues, and again, we bring in different issues. We bring medicine in the hospitals. When they bring health, again, we bring something different, roads.
So people of Chiriandom did not present.
We misuse the opportunity, because if we were to address real issues, I wanted to see someone arrested on that day.
But it's not
for you are doing this, that, take him. And that is what happens. When they went to Ginger, I think some years back, people were arrested. This one, I took an issue and the DPC requested for 500,000. DPC, come here. Did you do that? Yes. Go.
People of Chirianonga have been crying. PDM, corruption in PDM was not presented.
I think PDM, I'm the only one who came and hit it on that. And what surprised me, when the gentleman came, he just said, there is nothing like, everything is okay. PDM, everything is okay. But that is not what we wanted.
And the community was quiet.
Yes, people were quiet because they didn't know. I expected those people who came with the PDM issues to come and say, for us, they're asking for this. Like the way people of Arua did. They said, like me, if I go, the guy in charge will say, you need to first of all see me in some lodge. They were very open, though not the IGG thing. But of course, they went to the concerned leaders and raised their issues. So we were supposed to use the rightful platforms. PDM, they're asking for this money. Then they ask these people, what is the problem? We don't have enough money for this and this and this. And they go and address the issue. And that is the advice that I gave them. We have the money that is coming here and it is not enough. Can you go back and revise and say, if we are giving 50 million for 50 people, can we then have some additional money to aid, the inspection, verifying the people are supposed to get the money, because these guys are paid. The town council agents and all of them are paid. Now, what about the SACCO chairpersons and these other leaders? Where should they get the money to then do their work? To make sure that everyone receives 1 million fixed. Because it is a cover-up. I get 1 million in cash. Like that is the money that I get on my account. But then the money that I spend in that process is over 100,000 shillings. And that is what they are not looking at. And even the gentleman from the district said, no, all our people are getting 104,000 shillings. 1,004,000 shillings on their accounts, which is true. That money will come on your account. But then the money that you spend to get that money on your account is what is pressing our people, and that is what they're talking about. And that is what the IGG wanted to get from our people. And no one talked about it.
Maybe they are not having that problem.
The problem is there. Then the other issue of security. Also, I think, Bano Dida, you also heard about that. And there is something that didn't go on well there. Issues, very many people were talking about, DPC go with your OC. DPC go with your OC. DPC go with your OC. That issue remained like that.
Why?
Why?
Why they wanted the DPC, the OC?
They were giving, of course, these key issues that we talked about. The stamp money for arrest. Then himself also taking his own time to respond whenever there is an issue. You call him, he takes this time, he start questioning you, ABCD, and something is happening or something has already happened. But in that process, and that's why I think people are even taking the law in their hands. And what annoyed me was people were saying that we are going to do this, inciting even violence, and nothing was raised around that. We left that issue hanging. So for me, I think we have not benefited, because the issues that people talked about were only two: land and then police requesting for money for recommendations and money for fuel. That was the only thing.
You say they spoke on only one thing, police, because the land. It was misplaced, but then land
would be a case, but then not the main. What happens then? The corruption aspect of it, that is what they wanted to know. I have land which is owned by the government, but someone again selling it to me. Maybe that's when the corruption comes in.
School land,
the school land,
by the head teacher,
things like that.
That is corruption.
Yes, so that is now land, but taking up the corruption aspect. Exactly. You get the point. But then if you just bring land plain the way it is, for us we have been chased, for us we have been.
My brother is doing this.
Maybe also the other issue that was a little bit valid on the issue of land was the compensation. Like maybe when people were sent away and others were compensated, others were not compensated. Maybe that one we can try to grill the investor, that we agreed on ABCD, but then when you went, you didn't do ABCD. That one could help, but then we were going astray.
Thank you. And let me go to Honorable Opio.
Yes, sir.
As a leader of Chirian